How many of you garden? How many of you have a garden? Yeah? What do you grow? Tomatoes, flowers, what else? Vegetables, but you grow things, don't you? Well, my family and I, we embarked on a cleaner, healthier journey of eating a few years ago, which involved lots of organic foods. Well, as you know, organic vegetables and foods are very, very expensive. That's a special section in the market, isn't it? It's off to the side. So we decided we're going to start growing our own vegetables. But we knew nothing about growing things. We just figured you get some soil and seeds, and you put it together, and things might grow. Shockingly, things grew. We got tomatoes and basil, and the kale had holes in it. Didn't look very pretty. So we started getting more serious, started learning about the potassium and phosphorus and the soil acidity and about seed depth and plant spacing and which plants need full sun versus moderate sun versus... It's a thing, isn't it? It gives me a deep appreciation for farmers who have to do this for a living every single day. So we started growing tomatoes and kale and basil and carrots all in our little backyard. So I learned a few things about gardening, which impacts leadership, it impacts accountability, it impacts a lot of these things. Number one, we never have to try to make weeds grow. You don't have to do anything to make weeds grow. They just grow, don't they? But watch this, weeds never start big. They always start like this. And then they poke their head up like this, just to see if anybody's gonna do anything. And then if nobody does anything, what happens? It does this, then it does this, then it gets big and strong and hairy and starts dropping seeds to make more weeds. Now before you start thinking that the weeds are your bad employees, no. And you're a weed, and you're a weed, and you're a weed. No. We don't call your staff weeds. Weeds are the undesirable behaviors you don't want on your team. So think about coming in late every day. Think about saying, that's not my department. Think about saying, it's a bad attitude. Those are the weeds. Now, weeds are a sign of neglect. I'll say it again. Weeds are a sign of what? Yes, whenever you see a weed, that means it was allowed to grow. So I'll give you an example. How many of you have a policy in your company, in your spa, around cell phone usage? Like no cell phones. Yeah, or something around like no cell phones. All right. So here's how it usually starts. Let's say I have a cell phone. I went through orientation. I signed my name. I put my name in blood in the handbook, no cell phone usage. Silicone wristbands, no cell phone usage. Koozie cups, no cell phone usage. It's in every single urinal, no cell phone usage. You have t-shirts made, no cell phone usage. Here's what happens now. So I come to work, cell phone is right here on the podium, mind you. Here's how the weed starts. Good morning, good morning. If nothing happens, they pick the phone up. If nothing happens, now they're having Facebook Live all up in your spa. Now, whenever you see a weed, who do you blame? When you drive by someone's house and you see a bunch of weeds, do you say, those are such inconsiderate weeds? Who do you blame? The weeds? Who do you blame? The owner, the gardener. By now you realize, who's the gardener? It's you, boo. Yes. Now instead of looking at everyone else's weeds, because we can be experts at saying, let me see whose weeds are over there, and let me look at that garden over there, and I see some nice weeds. No. Instead of looking at everybody else's weeds, the question now is, what are your weeds? What are our own weeds? What are the things that's getting in the way of us being as exceptional as we were born to be?